Hi everyone. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to use Codex in your uh, day-to-day work as an analyst, a support analyst. So if you're not a developer but you have responsibility to debug a legacy code, this tool might help you. So we have a Codex from OpenAI. This is installed in Visual Studio. If you have access to Codex, then you can try this in your day-to-day work. I have a task to debug or investigate a legacy application that was written 20 plus years ago. No one is maintaining the code anymore. But recently there's a behavior that I need to look at the code and see why. So probably the, the cause may be a data or an unforeseen logic error. So probably it's a data. Since it's a data, I have a hunch that I should have a query that can determine, like used for investigation, what are missing data, right? But I don't have query because this application, which is a legacy one, is using entity framework and do not have direct SQL query on the code base. So let's start. I asked Codex to make a graphical trace of calling this function. This is the file and this is the function. So I made a copy of a legacy application, put it on a temporary folder. It is a C Sharp or .NET 4 application. And yeah, so Windows 2003 is the server that hosts this application. So there's no way to debug this because I don't have access to uh, the application itself, because it's just a library that calls by another larger application. So this is just a tool set for larger application, and then this particular is a library of that for that tool. So it's very hard to debug unless you know how you're the one who developed this and you're able to create a mock data. But this I had no way to create a mock data. So, and I don't have intention to modify the code. I don't want to mess on this one. So I just create a copy and put a smaller portion on that I know that will be useful. So that folder is like here. That specific folder, I put, this is the application from the source control. I put it there. So and after asking that to analyze this function, it gave an analysis, and then I asked why the code might fail. So from based on these traces, it actually corrects me uh, that when I asked why it might return a failed string. So the failed string only shows on this particular function, not on this one. This is the one I specified, but Codex is able to correct that. Oh, this should be here, not this. So I want a MD file to capture that information. So I asked for MD file for Codex to add this result to MD file. By the way, I request this result to be added to MD file. So MD file is uh, here. This is the MD file. So the first result set is written here. So this is the explanation. This is the trace. And then when I was corrected by Codex, I requested to have another trace for that application, and also I asked to explain. So it gave an explanation, and then when I added it to that, I also this is the my request to add the correct function, and then when I asked the reason why it's giving this string with failed on it, it gave me a reason here, and then I added it to same MD file for later review. So it appended, and then it says maybe the model I want to see the model entity. I want to review it. So how this model entity query these entity tables, and then it gave a particular functions that can lead me to actual C# file and review it. So I read that C# file based on this entity function calls, and then I realize, oh, this is entity, so probably from this entity definition on the code, we can have better understanding by converting that to query or SQL query. And then I said, okay, add this to MD file, and then when I added this information to MD file for later review, and then I said convert this entity query to SQL syntax as close as much as it can. So it gave me this tables, and this is true. This table is actually exists, but I want to go further. Okay, add this result to MD file for later review, and then I attach a definition of a table because I realize the query when I request for instead of individual table, I requested to have tied it up so that I can just put the one parameter, two parameters, and just pull everything the related tables can be pulled up. So it did that, and then added that to MD file, and then I realized some columns are not present or does not exist. So probably it hallucinate on that. So I gave a real definition of the tables mentioned. So I put a file like this, create tables, and it defined the actual table in production. So after adding that, it reanalyzed it and give me a new query. This is the revised query. And then when I copy that and put this to actual query, this one, no, not this one here. So I give the real values parameter and give me the result when I run it. So now I know why the function are returning some string that made the in like invalid one. So I know now what to look now because I have a result. I can investigate this data here with these values. Now I know what's happening. So this is how you use Codex to analyze and use save your time on reading a lot of C# files. So I went further. I put the result and asked Codex to explain it, so that I have a document that easily can explain what reason behind that query and why is it failing. So this is the explanation, and I asked the Codex to put that and add that to this. So when I present it to someone who are not familiar with this investigation, at least he knew, or they might know what's the reason here. So Suis is missing, and this is the explanation. That's it. Thank you very much.